Hello everyone. So today I'm going to go through the alts to look for next week for potential breakouts of at least 10%. So let's start off with the first one. First one is going to be Link. Link has pretty much been, look, it went up really well when Bitcoin was going down. That is a sign of strength. There wasn't really much news that would have pushed this up. I would say that this is just going along with its typical correction. Link is really hard to leverage trade, by the way, because there's a lot of fake outs. But I do see a potential good setup once Link sort of so I would do entry at 24.7-ish, and then I'll do another entry at 24.248 with a stop loss at around like 23.758. Like anything below that, I would say that this bull flag is just not going to work out unless if it's a liquidation wick. But look, if you're going to get, if there ends up becoming some sort of liquidation wick and it's clear, I would enter back in. But my general rule is to not enter if I stop loss has been hit, even if it's just some sort of wick, unless I'm really sure it's a liquidation wick. So it depends on how Bitcoin goes, but there is a big breakout of around price target of around $35. I would take profits along the resistance at like 26.8, 28.2. And if it breaks out from there, then cool, we go up pretty high, potentially. The other one that I'll be looking out for is Solana. Solana has been quite stagnant and has been held back during this recovery pump. But right now it is doing a ascending triangle, and I would probably enter at around this price with the tight stop loss. It's looking, I mean, look, the ascending triangle, its price target is around 157. It's only a pump of, let's say if you're buying from here, it's only a pump of like 7%, but it's a good, there's a good setup. In terms of the stop loss. So that's a good step to take. But it could potentially go up higher as well, because if you look at the daily time frame, it looks like it's sort of gonna break out. It looks like it's ready to break out of a massive time frame. And so potentially if we break out from this time frame, then we pretty much just go back to 258 and then we just test from there, is what I'm assuming. So we'll see how that plays out. So Solana is another good one. Another potentially good one is Algorand. Algorand has been pretty weak the past few days. It's just because there's no real setup to Algorand. And you can see from here, like there's no real setup. Like it's just like, what the hell is it doing? On the 4-hour chart. But if you zoom out, it looks like it's doing some sort of W. It's just that this sort of needs to range in between here for a while until it could potentially go up. Now, I would probably exit this trade if this range ends up being broken, and of course, stop loss at 1.26. So it depends on how you want to play it. But if we're bullish, I don't really see Algorand going below 1.26. If we're bearish, then yeah, okay, sure, we'll break down from there. So it all depends on what Bitcoin does. When it comes to trading alts, I would make sure to know how to trade Bitcoin first, because pretty much whenever Bitcoin goes up, if it goes up hard, the alts just stay stagnant, and if Bitcoin goes down from going hard, the altcoins that are weak will go down. Altcoins that are strong will just go up with Bitcoin, and they'll just go up further as Bitcoin goes sideways while it goes up. And so there is a strong relationship, I find, correlation and strong relationship when it comes to Bitcoin and altcoins. So knowing how to trade Bitcoin will help determine how to trade the other coins. For example, if I see that Bitcoin is going to break out or is going to just range from here, then I could assume that that Link will find its sort of like bottom at around 24.668 and fill up that space over there to break out. But if I think that Bitcoin's going to go down and it's going to just shoot down, I don't know, potentially go down from its down from here, go and sort of just like find a bottom at 42k, then I would assume that Link is going to go to 24.6, and that would look like a really neat sort of bull flag, but also a weak bull flag in terms of it's not going to pump out strong because there's like these massive resistance zones. But it's fair because we're trading a 6-hour chart for Link. All right, what else? Okay, cool. NIA. I quite enjoy NIA. I've been trading NIA, but it has pumped up quite a bit. It still hasn't reached my price target of around $23, and I would say that this has been playing out so nicely that I'm sticking with this play. 23.6, go down to around $20 as final support, and then we could go up to further $30, which people have been anticipating for the last, I don't know, month as NIA has been pumping. And it seems like it's sort of doing like an AVAX, where like upon the recovery, massive pumpage. Now, another one that I like to look at is ADA. ADA has gone down quite significantly. Right now, it's showing a lot of strength. So it looks like it's a cup and handle pattern. I typically don't like to trade couple and handle patterns just because it's not as clear sometimes. But this one does look pretty strong. It's got a price target of $1.50, which, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Look, there's that resistance at $1.52. So yeah, I would probably take profit at $1.50. There's resistance at $1.38. I mean, yeah, and then there's resistance at like $1.34.5-ish level, which we sort of just wicked below. I mean, we wicked down. Would I take the trade right now? I mean, if I was sort of in a gambling mood, then yeah, I might, but I wouldn't right now because it's just pumps. I would wait and see, like, if we retest $1.30 again, then that's when I would probably purchase, enter a long position. Another good one to look out for. So I've seen that Phantom has been pumping up pretty well, but is it a good buy right now? Let's have a look. Cool. All right, so this is the thing I found with Phantom, is that it's sort of breaking out of its patterns pretty early, and I'm not sure if it's because, you know, simply it's just how the continuation pattern work. Like, that's just continuation. Like you can sort of see here, like it sort of looked like it was going to do some sort of correction, but bam, it was just continuation instead. And now it's sort of doing some sort of correction, but it's broken out really early. And so that's the thing. I would wait for it to sort of like find support here. And if I see that Bitcoin's about to break out, then yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot with a really tight stop loss at around $2.89. Otherwise, on the 6 hour chart, on the 6 hour chart, it's broken out. So if it goes down from here, it's going to be quite hard to play. I mean, like generally when we have some sort of we break down, it's because we just break out too early. And so we might find like support at, you know, like those previous levels. So that would be $2.86 for Phantom. So let's see. But obviously that sort of breakout is really weak because, I mean, Bitcoin's going down and we're not sure. Like, this is just too early. And like there's a potential for like the short-term moving average just to slope down and follow this sort of bear flag. So the risk-reward ratio isn't the best. But it is really strong. It's super strong. Phantom's super strong. And it's been going along this sort of like, I'll just zoom out, but it's pretty much just been going on this like large, you know, ascending trend. Yeah. I mean, it did break down for a bit and then it just reclaims. So yeah, I mean, it looks awesome. Like, I think it looks awesome. It looks like, you know, Phantom has just been going sideways, if anything, with a very large range, which is awesome to just swing trade. But yeah, I mean, look, let's just assume it plays out sort of like this. I mean, I think Phantom does break its ascending pattern. It does break it. And I've seen this before where it looks super strong, it does break, and then it just breaks back down into the pattern. And it's quite common, actually. But yeah, look, if we do break, retest this trend pattern, this upwards trend, and we just go up from there, then it's pretty much just the Wild West at that point, because then we've broken from all-time high. Like, Phantom could just go to absolute $5, like, you know, green dildos all the way. So let's see how that goes. What else should I cover? Let's have a look. I'll probably cover Dogecoin. So Dogecoin had that news with Tesla, and it's sort of been pumping up pretty nicely, actually. Thing is, I hate trading Dogecoin. I hate trading Dogecoin because Dogecoin's just sort of been pumpy and dumpy. After it went past, did its correction from 80 cents. So. Look, but it could be that this is the time for it. Now, with me personally, obviously, I think that Dogecoin is just bloody stupid, but I've got to be open-minded when I trade things. So, and I think that's a really important trait. So what I see with Dogecoin right now is that, look, before I just drew this range and now it's just broken it. So If it reclaims this range and the short-term moving average starts to slope upwards, then yeah, okay, cool. I would probably enter a really low risk trade with like, you know, a tight stop loss below this range, but you know, that's just there. There's potential 15% upside. We'll see how that goes in the short term. What else? Uniswap. So Uniswap has been doing, you know, a lot of dumpage lately. Like same thing with Sushi. Like the DeFi coins haven't been doing so well, especially, you know, it did so well Q1 2021. Maybe it'll do well 2022 Q1. We'll see. It's sort of, I mean, I'm not sure about this sort of like trend, but I guess it is sort of following this. I would just see this more as like triple bottom, and it is potentially going to break out to like $18 ish. Look, before when I drew this, I sort of hoped that we would range in between this zone, but it's not. It's just sort of doing almost like a cup and handle pattern. You know, you got a cup, you got a handle, and you got the breakout. If we just draw from this certain area only, then it still meets the price target of around $18-ish. So it is a good trade, I find. And look, we haven't been going down too much. It's been holding really well. Short-term moving average is now finally hit, so we could get a pump of around 10% soon with Uniswap. But yeah, like those are the coins that I'm sort of looking out for next week. We're sort of going through some sort of altcoin season actually, and it's starting. Like you can see it coming with Bitcoin dominance. So let's see how these things play out. It's a good time to be trading alts. But yeah, I mean, like, no, not financial advice. It's just my thoughts.